city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion. What it needs is Old Testament, real wrath of God type stuff. Fire, racial, coming out of the skies, rivers, seas, boiling. Bring human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, necessary.
Well, it has been one of those mornings. And I understand if you could sit there and empathize with me when I say that. It is a Saturday morning, but it feels like it's been a long week. And maybe somebody out there will sit there and say, oh, the week flew by. I don't know about you, but the week did not fly by with me. It seems like it has been trugging along all the way until we got to this point. What is this point that you're asking about? Well, this point is the point of the week where you get to see my beautiful puppet face all over the internet. Why? By following me at Sam Newsman all over social media. I know. I had not even talked about the beautiful campus here in Richmond, in the University of Richmond. The beautiful campus here at the University of Richmond. Yes, where we are down here in the dungeon of North Court with the cockroaches, broadcasting live, setting the standard, raising the bar, the only way a real media puppet knows how to do. Yes, here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. 1018, shout out to you, Germ. 1018 here on the second day of February, the second day of the year. The second month of the year, the 24th day. It says 02 24 24 10 18. 02 24 24 10 18. Play those on the lottery. If you win them, then just make sure that I get my own cut. Anyways, here we are. It is a Saturday morning. Yes, the Sam Cams are live up and running at Sam Newsman on Instagram. Shout out to Roundhead K2000, Sir Philosopher Triple D over in the Pacific Northwest. Yes, we are broadcasting live coast to coast with people who are listening and joining in all over the United States. We do have listeners over in Singapore, over in Japan. We have listeners over in Europe. We're all over the country. But where are you going to find us? At Sam Newsman, #1, and then WDCE.org, and download the Live 365 app. That's where you can hear the cartoon themes and the Popeye themes we're going to play here in just a few moments. Yeah, we're doing a second round of Popeye with Deep Cut Dave. Deep Cut Dave, Professor Deep Cut Dave is going to be calling in here in about 15 minutes or so. We're going to talk about what's going on in terms of Popeye. Popeye celebrated, I think, the 90th, 95th? I don't know what it was. It was something. But shout out to you. Shout out to White Vegeta over in the chat. Also, of course, who is always around because he is hovering like the little spy satellite that he is. That is Cato's collection. Are you following Cato? So last week, what I decided to do, me and Cato have been, we talk off record. I can't tell you what we talk about because it's off record. But me and Cato talk off record. And one of the things that he wants to do is start talking about independent toy news reviews. Independent toy news reviews. Well, not reviews, but just news. Independent toy news. Independent toy news. That's what I say. Let's try to say that 3 times fast. I just tried to. I couldn't do it. Independent toy news. Over on Cato's channel. Now, I think last week we did it. I think it was at 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Not sure if it's going to be every single week, but make sure you're following Cato's collection because there's only one person that I actually listen to when it comes to Transformer reviews. And I only say that because I really don't watch the Transformer reviews. I watch everything else. Why? Because GoBots are better. But, God bless them, Transformers and all that jazz. Transformers. Listen, we all know that the Rock Lords, GoBots are better than Transformers. But we all know that Rock Lords are more superior than anything, right? I mean, if you think about it, think about your time as a kid and as a child. You want to talk about imagination. This the second hour of the show is brought to you by imagination. Think about your time with a pet rock, Okay. And think about your time with that pet rock. Well, imagine if that pet rock could transform into a robot. Well, there you go. Rock lords. I'm telling you, rock lords is where it is. No, I don't want to hear about the Rakan or whatever the masters of the universe. What's his name? Yeah, loincloth man. Yeah, I don't want to hear about old loincloth man. Listen, if we're going to talk about Motu, we're only going to stick to Skeletor and Hordak and some Orko. But anything outside of that with Motu, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about Rakan or all this other stuff. Just give me a break. Rock lords are superior to what? To everything. That's not a hot take. That's just me being honest with you. Because you had a pet rock, you sit there and you just drew a face on them, and you were like, oh my gosh, I'm pretending in this imagination. Well, let me tell you, what if that rock could transform into a robot? That is the rock lords. Listen, you can thank me later on making you understand and let the synapses fire so you can finally recognize and realize the fact that I've been right this whole time, that GoBots are better than Transformers and that Rock Lords are superior. Why? Because Rock Lords are the foundation of imagination. And brought to you by Tonka. Oh, man. So shout out to Kenzo. I see Kenzo Big M. I see Jensen Geth, Steve G74. Big M, a couple other people there in the chat. Thanks all of you for joining into the show. And like I said, an interactive show where, like I said, every single week I open up several different media channels. This is what we call simulcasting, right? Setting the standard, raising the bar, right? Well, I mean, I'm telling you right now. So we have the Sam Cam on Instagram. And we have the Sam Cam over here on YouTube, Facebook, and X. And so there's 4 different video streams where you could see my beautiful puppet face. But just imagine for the moment that you're driving around Richmond, Virginia. You tuned in to 90.1 FM. You'd be able to hear my beautiful puppet voice. But then that might not just be enough. And you might say, well, Sam, I'm hearing your beautiful puppet voice. How can I see your beautiful puppet face? At Sam Newsman, all over social media. What are you doing over there? What? Get off. So, yeah, sorry, it's like a fly over here. So no, I'm telling you right now, at Sam Newsman, all over social media is where you're going to find me. And so that's every single day. Yes, that's right. I do a reel. Every single day I do a reel. And I talk about the news, yes, current events. Of course, well, I'm the most trusted puppet in media. When? Reporting since Roswell. So, of course, every single day I do this news reel for you. It's about a minute or less, usually less than a minute, probably about 55 seconds or less. We've become pretty sharp on all this. Yeah, setting the standard and raising the bar. We don't need to, listen, I can go over the day's news in less than a minute. And here they have news shows that are dedicated for an hour, 45 minutes. Hell, there is radio shows dedicated for 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours every single day to talk to you about the news. And here I am just giving it to you in about 55 seconds. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. There is a competition going on too. StyleWeekly.com. StyleWeekly.com. Go to StyleWeekly.com. You have only a few days left. You have about 5 days left because it is leap year. So it is a leap year where we're going to have 29 days in February. So until February 29th, what I need you to do, I need you to go to StyleWeekly.com or just go into Google, type in Style Weekly, Richmond, Virginia, and type in and go look for the best of Richmond. The best of Richmond for Style Weekly. You're going to want to go to 2 categories. The first one is people and places. People and places, scroll down, and then you want to sit there and go to media personality. Type in Sam Newsman under media personality. You're going to go back out of that, go to arts and culture, scroll down and go to radio show. When it comes to radio show, then you want to type in Sam Newsman. So that's under arts and culture. So you got people and places, media personality. And then you have arts and culture for radio show. Sam Newsman. You can do that every single day. It's going to ask you for a couple of bits and pieces of information. Now, I'm not going to be like other radio show hosts that sits there and encourages you to use all 10 of your emails to go ahead and vote because that's cheating. But if you do have 10 emails and you want to vote with them and pass them out to your family members and friends, that's quite okay. That's quite okay. But the thing is that we only have about 5 days left. We want to try to get as many votes as we can for the Best of Richmond. Once again, People and Places, Media Personality, and Arts and Culture Radio Show. So those are where you want to go. That is Style Weekly, Richmond, Virginia. Type that into Google. Style Weekly, Richmond, Virginia. And we only understood this was going on about halfway through the month. So next year they just need to watch out. Oh, because we're gonna get our the Best of Richmond for the Richmond Times Dispatch is in May. And you know what? I'm just gonna tell you right now, to everyone out there in Radio Land, listen, you're looking at me right now, and you're seeing me right now. I'm just gonna tell you, watch out. That's right. Watch out. We have plans abound for all of that. So just stay tuned for all that. Paper Lords beat Rock Lords. No, well, that was the unreleased set. That was like what, Wave 5 or Wave 6? Yeah, the Paper Lords were supposed to come out. That was that was Wave 5, Wave 6. Well, of course, Paper Lords beat Rock Lords because paper beats rock. So, but then there's the Scissor Lords, and then the Scissor Lords start coming in, and they'll beat the Paper Lords. So you have the Scissor Lords and the Rock Lords and the Paper Lords, and it's balanced. Listen, there's nobody getting nerfed. You know what always made me upset was somebody would sit there and throw their thumb up in the air and say dynamite. What the hell are you talking about, dynamite? Dynamite and rock, paper, and scissors. It's rock, paper, scissors. Somebody said dynamite because they thought it was funny and cute. You know what? That's when you got beat up at the back of the bus. So nobody wants to hear about your dynamite. It's rock, paper, scissors. So Paper Lords beat Rock Lords, but Scissor Lords beat Paper Lords. I mean, this is really big and this is important stuff. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, so here it is. It is the 24th day of February in the year 2024. It is about 10:30 almost, about 10:28 it says on the clock. We're going to get out of here for just a few moments. Got some Popeye jams that I need to go over and play. Do you know that the Elimination Chamber was this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, the Elimination Chamber was at 5 o'clock this morning. I'm going to pull up everything. I was watching it. I was up for you. Why? Because I want to make sure that I was here to let you know what the results are. So if you have not watched the Elimination Chamber from WWE, then, I'm not going to tell you to turn off your radio. Just keep listening to me. I'm going to save you about 4 hours of your time. And we're going to talk about that with Deep Cut Dave here on the other side of the break, probably in about 7 to 10 minutes, here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet, from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.